ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम्
अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम्
आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रयेऽभीष्टसिद्धये
आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रयेऽभीष्टसिद्धये
अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दानतीतद्वैतभानतः
अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दानतीतद्वैतभानतः
गुरूनाराध्य वेदान्तसारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्तसारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
सातु चित् प्रतिबिंब सहिता सती
चित् प्रतिबिंब सहिता सती
प्रत्यक् अभिन्नम्
अभिन्नम्
अज्ञातं परं ब्रह्म
ज्ञातं परं ब्रह्म
विषयीकृत्य
विषयीकृत्य
तद्गत अज्ञानम् एव
तद्गत अज्ञानमेव
बाधते
बाधते
तदा
तदा
पटकारणतन्तुदाहे
पटकारणतन्तुदाहे
पटदाहवत्
तदाहवत्
अखिलकारणे अज्ञाने
अखिलकारणे अज्ञाने
बाधिते सति
बाधिते सति
तत्कार्यस्य
कार्यस्य
अखिलस्य
तस्य
बाधितत्वात्
बाधितत्वात्
तदन्तर्भूत अखण्डाकार आकारिता चित्तवृत्तिः अपि
तदन्तर्भूत अखण्डाकारकारिता चित्तवृत्तिः अपि
बाधिता भवति
बाधिता भवति।
Important discussion. आचार्येण एवं अध्यारोप अपवाद पुरस्सरम् आचार्येण तत्त्वं पदार्थौ पदार्थानां शोधनं कृत्वा महावाक्येन अखण्डार्थे अवबोधिते साधन चतुष्टय संपन्न अधिकारिणः अपि अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति वदति। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि तत् त्वमसि इति उपदेशः। उपदेशम् आचार्य उपदेशम् अवगम्य शिष्येन उक्तम् अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति दृष्टं पूर्वम्। अखण्ड आकारिता चित्तवृत्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति चित्तवृत्तिः उदेति। चित्तवृत्तिः, that chittavritti, what will happen to that chittavritti? Sa chittavrittihi, sa chittavrittihi, vritti, any vritti cannot remain permanent. Mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. Vritti pravaha. So no vritti can remain stationary. Then we will have problem. Then jagada andya prasangaha, we won't be able to comprehend the objects of the world. If one vritti alone, it remains all the time. This is not understood. That is why people think of killing the mind. Mano nasha. Manaha nashaha na bhavati. Manasaha nasha na bhavati. Bhavitum nashyati. Nargati na bhavati. Mano nasha can never happen. Thank God doesn't happen. Mind is not the problem. It is called mind because there are thoughts one after the other. Most of the time it is related. Sometimes it is not related, but some relation will be there always. Some link will be there. That is what the mind is. So vritti. So aham brahmasmi, that is also a vritti. That is jnana vritti. Aham brahmasmi iti jnanam, aproksha jnanam, sakshatkara aproksha jnanam. The knowledge as imparted by the acharya and the knowledge as revealed by the Upanishad. That knowledge, Upanishad being a pramanam. So therefore pramanam is jnana janaka, produces knowledge, generates knowledge. The very definition of pramanam is Anadigata abadita arthavat jnana janakam pramanam. So pramanam generates, in general, generates knowledge. But in the case of Atma Jnanam doesn't generate any new knowledge. That's what we are going to see. Because Atma is not something which is totally unknown. Atma Brahma, it is not something which is totally unknown, at the same time which is not totally known also. Bhanamba, Abhanamba. Bhanayapi Abhanam, Abhanayapi Bhanam. It is not known as it is. It is not known as it is. It is mistaken to be something. Therefore, there is Viparita Jnanam. So here, unlike other Pramanam, new knowledge doesn't happen. That is why we always say Shastram as a Pramanam doesn't produce new knowledge of the self. Shastram has this function only in removing the Ajnanam, the Avaranam, with regard to this Atma, with regard to self. So that Avarana Nivritti, the Avarana Nivritti alone is done by the Shastram. Ajnanam is the cause of samsara. Ajnanam is not knowing, ignorance. Ignorance of the Swarupam of oneself. So it is the very myself, the subject. Subject is not known as it is. At the same time, you cannot say it's completely unknown. If it's a subject is completely unknown, then you cannot have any object knowledge. Object knowledge is not possible if subject is not known. The question comes, who for whom this object knowledge is? Who knows this object is? For example, a flower is a rose. You see the flower, there is a knowledge, object knowledge, the knowledge of the flower. Flower is anatma. So object knowledge. Known to whom? It is known to me. The flower is known to me. I know the flower. Then what is that? Then what is that by which you know this I? I is self-evident. It need not be known. It is known, therefore only you are able to know the objects. If it is not completely, if it is completely unknown, there cannot be any object knowledge possible. Then every time there should be an object knowledge, and every time you have to know the subject. And along with the subject, object knowledge also goes away. Therefore, Ajnana, every time Ajnana persists, you need to study Sanskritam again and again. Every day we have to start with the Akshara only. Because the person who learned Akshara has gone. Along with the object, subject also gone yesterday. But it doesn't happen. The same thing, person is there. So the same I is persist. So therefore it is known at the same time, it is not known as it is. Therefore, that is the difference between Atma Jnanam and Anatma Jnanam. Anatma Jnanam is the knowledge of any objects of the world. Atma is not an object. It is known but not as it is. There is Avaranam, there is a wrong notion about Atma, therefore it is mistaken to be something else. It is mistaken to be that which is not that. It is mixed with, Atma is mixed with, it is so intimately mixed with Anatma. Anatma is, there are mutual transfer of attributes. Atmanaha, the Vishesha, the Atmanaha, the Chaitanyatvam is transferred to Anatma. Therefore, body enjoys sentiency. Therefore, we say body is sentient. Body is not sentient. Body, mind, sense complex. And body, mind, sense complex, they are subject to destruction. Therefore, that is superimposed on Atma and say Atma is destroyed. Atma is never destroyed. Ainam Chindanti Shastrani, Ainam Jagati Pavakaha. Therefore, That is the mistake, that mixing up of Atma and Atma. That is why first we begin with Viveka, Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka iti. So therefore, Atma is known, but it is not known as it is. Therefore, it is Ajnanam only. So therefore, the knowledge of the object and the knowledge of Atma, both are knowledge only, but there is a big difference between the two types of knowledge. How does the knowledge take place? Knowledge takes place in the form of vritti only. Every time, every moment, there are some vritti, the thoughts coming in. Either you know, or either you recollect, or thought itself by, because of samskara, it keeps coming. Thanks to that only the knowledge happens. If the same vritti persists, then Jagadan Andhya Prasangaha, then you won't be able to know anything. One vritti comes, goes, another vritti comes, it is so fast. So therefore knowledge happens in the form of vritti, any knowledge, whether it is knowledge of the objects or knowledge of even the Atma. In the case of Atma, as I told, there are differences between these two. There is no new knowledge. It is knowing the Atma as it is. Removing the Ajnanam is knowing. In fact, there is no knowing. Removing the Ajnanam, Atma reveals as it is. Now, before that, the last class also we saw, how does the knowledge take place? Knowledge takes place in the form of the vritti. There is a process. Here, with regard to Atma Jnanam, Aham Brahmasmi iti Upadeshena, the Chitta vritti, Akandakara, the Chitta vritti Udeti, that Chitta vritti, Jnana vritti, dismisses or negates the Ajnana vritti, the person understands Aham Brahmasmi iti. Now, the Chitta vritti also, that is, should it continue forever for the Jnanam to persist? No, that also is dismissed. Satu Chitta vrittihi bharita bhavati. It has done the purpose. Chitta vrittihi knocked off the Ajnanam with regard to the self, therefore bharita bhavati. That also goes away. Now, before that, how does the knowledge take place? The process which is explained in the Vedanta, that any knowledge takes place in two steps, but the steps are so quick. It's not that one happens after the other. It is so quick, therefore we cannot distinguish the difference, the gap between the two. The knowledge happens by chitta, the vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. Important concept. When pramana is operated, for example, the Mula Pramanas are Pratyaksha Pramana. So any knowledge or all the Pramana, they have their basis in Mula Pramana, Pratyaksha Pramana. So Pratyaksha Pramanam, for instance, if we take Chakshu Pramanam, there is an object outside. Now the object has to be known. For that Chakshu Pramanam, the color of the object, the form of the object has to be known. Then the appropriate Pramanam, Chakshu Pramanam, has to be operated. Or if the smell, then Granendriya should be operated accordingly. So according to what attribute we want to know about the object, the flower, the pramana should be operated. Suppose we want to know the varna or the shape, then Chakshu Pramanam. So the moment you open the eye, you see the flower, knowledge happens so quickly. So it doesn't take time. It happens so instantaneously, but Vedanta, we say it happens in a two-step process. That is, when the eyes are open, when the eyes are open, the vritti, the vritti, the vritti is antakarna vritti. Antakarnam is the mind. The antakarna vritti, it goes out. The vritti goes out. And through the chakshu pramanam. Therefore, that is called pramana vritti. The pramana vritti flows out, goes out, and envelops the object. So pramana, that's called pramana vritti. And the object is prameya, that which is to be known. The flower, in our case, it's flower. So prameya is the object. So pramana vritti travels towards the prameya, the flower, and envelops the prameya. It envelops the prameya, the object, as it were, then assumes the form of the object, the flower in our case. That pramana vritti, assuming the shape of the object, the flower, the object is the prameya, and the vritti now is prama vritti, knowledge vritti, prama vritti. So by this prama vritti, knowledge takes place? No, it is not complete. Pramana vritti, the thoughts, the antakaranam, not the entire antakaranam goes out. Antakaranam goes out through the chaksha pramanam, the form of the thoughts of vritti. Vrittis are jada, like photons. The packets of, they travel similarly. This is a mechanism by which the knowledge takes place, as explained in Vedanta. So the pramana vritti goes out, envelops the object, and the vritti assumes the shape of, the prameya, and the vritti now it is prama vritti. So there is a pervasion of the vritti over the object. It's called vritti vyapti. So vritti vyapti is the first step. So pramana vritti enveloping the object, and now pramana vritti becomes prama vritti, and the prameya is the object, and the content of the prama vritti is prameya, the object, and the vritti envelops the object. Therefore, that is called vritti vyapti, the first step. Vritti vyapti, vrittehe vyapti, vritti vyapti. Vritti also jadam. Object is also jadam. Jadam cannot interact with other jadam. So we have to note that it's always blessed by Chaitanyam. Blessed by Chaitanyam, the vritti vyapti happens. The vritti vyapti doesn't produce knowledge. For knowledge to happen, that pramavritti, the pramavritti, then that vritti, the vritti is illumined by Chaitanya. Pramavritti, the vritti, that vritti, that the antakaranam, the mind, there is a vritti, that vritti comes to light in the presence of Chaitanya. So antakaranam reflects Chaitanyam. That's what we call pratibimba, pratibimbita Chaitanyam. Chit pratibimba, reflection of consciousness in the antakaranam, in the mind, in the vritti. The reflection of Chaitanyam, the pramavritti. Without Chaitanyam, there cannot be, without Atma, that the Jada cannot interact. There cannot be any process, this Priti Vyapti, or the next process is Pala Vyapti. The reflection of Chaitanyam in the Antakaranam, it's called Chit Pratibimba. As here it is said, Chit Pratibimba Sagita Sati. Chit Pratibimba, Pratibimbita Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam which is reflected in the Antakaranam. Here in the Pramavritti, the Chaitanyam reflected in the Antakaranam, which we call technically Chidabhasa. Chit Abhasa. Chit Abhasa, Chidabhasa. Chit is Chaitanyam, reflection of Chaitanyam in the Antakaranam. Antakaranam is is made of sattva, guna of all the five elements. Therefore, it is such a fine medium. Chaitanyam can reflection of Chaitanyam, like the sun is reflected in the pure, clean water. Similarly, or the bottom of the lake is so clear, when the water is crystal clear, it can be seen. Similarly, the ant-karnam Chaitanyam is reflected. Now, this Pramavritti is illumined by, or the Vritti Vyapti, the Pramavritti being Vritti, Jada. So, therefore, there should be Chit Pratibimba, Chidabhasa. The Chidabhasa in the Pramavritti, the reflection of Chaitanyam in the Vritti Pramavritti, that is what is called Palavritti, the Pala Vyapti. So, Vritti Vyapti, Pala Vyapti. Chaitanyam, that is Chidabhasa, reflected in the Pramavritti. So, that is Pala Vyapti, because of which the knowledge of the object takes place. Vritti Vyapti, first step. Second step is Pala Vyapti. Why these two directly? Why not directly knowledge? No. First, there is a avaranam. The flower is there that is not known. It is covered as though it is covered. Covered means not physically covered. Ajnanam is there. So Ajnanam has to go, then only Jnanam has to happen. Ajnana, Nivritti, and then Jnana, Prakasha. Ajnana Nivritti followed by Jnana Prakasha. That Jnanam. So therefore, Ajnana Nivritti, that Avarana Nivritti, the Avarana Nivritti, because you don't know what it is. It is a flower. But unless you see it, you don't know what it is. Therefore, Ajnanam is there. So first the Ajnanam with regard to the flower has to go. So therefore, Vritti Vyapti removes Ajnanam. Before that, we have been saying, Aham Tatu na Pushpam na Janani. You don't know what it is. It is not known. Until you operate the Pramana, you don't know. So therefore, there is Avaranam, Ajnanam. Now this Ajnanam, this Avaranam, the Avaranam is removed by this Vritti Vyapti. Now we cannot say we don't know the flower. You know it, but there is not, the knowledge has to happen. The Avarana Vritti happened. Avarana Vritti by Vritti Vyapti. But you will not say that I know this flower, because Pala Vyapti has to happen. Then the Chidabhas are reflected in the Pramavritti, by which the Pala Vyapti, you distinctly know that it has a flower. The Vritti Vyapti cannot produce knowledge, it only removes the cover, the veil, the ignorance, Avaranam. Then the knowledge of the object is generated, that is by Pala Vyapti. The Chidabhasa, the Chaitanyam which is reflected in the Pramavritti, brings to light the object in our buddhi. Therefore, Vishaya Prakashanam, Vishaya Prakasha happens. So this is by the two steps, Avarana Nivritti followed by Vishaya Prakashanam. This is how any knowledge happens. And therefore, for Avarana Nivritti, Vritti Vyapti. For Vishaya Jnanam, Vishaya Prakasha, Vishaya should come to light. So how does it come? There should be Pala Vyapti, that object should reflect the object which is known, which is there in the Pramavritti, should be illumined by the Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam all the way it is there. Chidabhasa. The Chidabhasa, the Pramavritti, whose content is Prameya, is known. Therefore, knowledge of the object happens. So therefore, vritti vyapti, phala vyapti reveals the object. The knowledge of the object is generated, produced. So what is phala vyapti? Vritti vyapti, the job of the vritti vyapti is ajnana nivritti, and the job of the phala vyapti is jnana prakashanam. So therefore, this is how the knowledge takes place. Any knowledge. So therefore, in the antakharanam, where chit is reflected, it's called chit pratibimbita chaitanyam, in the presence of which the vritti vyapti and phala vyapti, in the phala vyapti, that is the pramana vritti, assuming the shape of the object to be known and becoming pramavritti, whose content is prameya vritti, when it is reflected in the chidabhasa, when the chidabhasa reflected chaitanyam, when that vritti is pramavritti is illumined by chit, that's called chidabhasa. So chidabhasa is there. Therefore, the object knowledge happens. This is how the knowledge happens with regard to any object. Now, when it comes to Brahmagyanam, Atmagyanam, how does it happen? This vritti vyapti, phala vyapti is little difficult to understand, but this because it so quickly happens. So we cannot say this is vritti vyapti, this is phala vyapti. But in the Vedanta, it is in the not only Vedanta, how the knowledge, the theory of knowledge, how the knowledge of an object takes place. It is explained in this two-step process. It is seen as, looked upon as consisting of these two steps, but the two steps are so quick. We cannot see we cannot recognize, we can't recognize the phala vyapti, vritti vyapti. So the idea is, first the avaradam has to go. An object is covered. Covered means not physically covered. Ajnanam, it is not known. I don't know that. That is the avaranam. First, that has to go. Then the object has to be known. This is a two-step process. Avarana nivritti by vritti vyapti, and the knowledge of the object by phala vyapti. For avarana nivritti, how does it happen? The avaranam, the ajnanam covers. The ajnanam has to go. So therefore, the vritti should envelop the object, and it removes the ajnanam, the darkness, the veil of ignorance, it removes. Now that is reflected in the antakkaranam, which is illuminated by the chaitanyam. There the jnanam of the object happens. That is the result of the vyapti. The result of the vritti vyapti in the form of the palam, the palam is jnanam, happens in the chidabhasa. That is phala vyapti. So therefore, avarana nivritti, because ajnanam is that we don't know, therefore when we operate pramana. We operate pramana to know a thing. Till that we don't know. The moment we operate a pramana, we know the object. That these two things happen so quickly. Therefore, we are not able to distinguish them. We distinguish them distinctly. This is vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. It so quickly happens. The moment pramana is operated, it is faster than even the light, the speed of light. So it happens quickly. The operation is so fast. So avarana nivritti, and then knowledge happens. Knowledge of the object is generated. Because pramanam is operated, pramanam is jnana janakam, knowledge has to be produced, therefore knowledge happens. So with regard to anything, any object knowledge, anatma vishaye, this is how the knowledge takes place. This is the method of knowledge. So through pramanam, The pramanam reveals the object in this two-step process. Pramana vritti, avarana nivrittihi, followed by Vishaya Prakasha. Avarana nivritti by vritti vyapti, and the object comes to light. It's known by phala vyapti. Now, this is with regard to the objects which are completely unknown, anatma vishaya. What about Atma? Atma, as we saw before, it is not completely unknown. At the same time, we cannot say it is known also. So therefore, there is no need to produce new knowledge. It is not known as it is means there is avaranam. Therefore, avarana nivritti alone is required. There is no need for phala vyapti. You will see in detail further. There is no need for phala vyapti. In the case of the flower, there vritti vyapti, phala vyapti is required. But in the case of Atma, vritti vyapti required. Do we require phala vyapti? Because it is known. It is known to be. Object is known to me, phala vyapti. Atma is known to me. We don't say Atma is known to me. I know Atma, we don't say. We say Aham Atma. Aham Brahma only we say. Not I know Brahma. We say I know Brahma, that Brahma also becomes one object. Object knowledge. Brahma is not an object. It is you. Aham Brahmasmi only. You don't say Aham Pushpam Asmi iti. Aham Pushpam Janami. I know the flower. Then with regard to Brahma, Aham Brahma Janami iti. We don't say Aham Brahma Asmi eva iti. Therefore, it is not an object. So where is phala vyapti? This is said simply, but we can more technically to see that. When the Vakya, when the Guru Upadesha, Guru says Tat Tvamasi, then the Aham Brahmasmi, the Shishya, that Aham Brahmasmi also, Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvamasi, what are the Mahavakya? That the words, that is in the form of the vritti, the words uttered by the Guru, and that heard by the Shishya through the ears, therefore Shravanam, being a Pramanam, therefore Pramana vritti will be there, the Pramana vritti, and that Pramana vritti will envelop the words, and therefore the Prama vritti, the content of the Prama vritti, the Prameya, the words Aham Brahmasmi iti. So vritti vyapti is there by pervading the Shabda, the knowledge, the ignorance, the avaranam is removed. The avaranam with regard to the Aham Brahma iti Aham na janami before. Now Aham Ajnaha with regard to Brahma. Now we cannot say Aham Ajnaha. The avaranam is removed. Aham Brahma iti Aham na janami. I don't know. I don't know Brahma. Before, Brahma is what it is, we don't know. Therefore, Aham Brahma na janami. Avaranam is there. Aham Brahma na janami. Therefore, by the Shabda, through the Shravanam, and the Pramana vritti enveloping the words of the Guru, and that becomes Prama vritti, that is, and Prama vritti, that is vritti vyapti, when the vritti pervades here in this case, here it is Shabda. In the case of flower, it is actually we can understand it is flower, an object. Here it is Shabda, the words. The words are enveloped by the vritti. Enveloped by the vritti, which goes out through the ear, because ears are the pramanam. And vritti pervades the Shabda, the words of the teacher. Vritti vyapti. Why vritti vyapti? Vritti vyapti is the first step which removes avaranam. Previously, Aham Brahman ha janami. Now we cannot say Aham Brahma ha janami, but that Brahma Aham asmi, that jnanam has not happened. That now ignorance with regard to Brahma is removed by vritti vyapti. That is, avaranam is removed by. Everything is covered, avaranam only. The avarana is removed by this vritti vyapti. Now, the phala vyapti. Brahma, that the pramavritti in which chidabhasa, the chidabhasa in which the pramavritti is the knowledge of the object. Pramavritti, the knowledge, the knowledge which is in the antakarnam, that is antakarnam chidabhasa, antakarnam, that is the mind which is in which the consciousness reflected. There only the vritti is a pramavritti. So therefore, the chidabhasa, palavyapti. What is the palavyapti? What is that object? In the case of flower, the flower is in the chidabhasa, there is the knowledge of, there is the vritti of the flower, and the flower comes to light. The chidabhasa, in the antakarnam, where the chaitanyam is there, is reflected, chit pratibimba, there is the pramavritti, the knowledge vritti, and it comes to light, it is illuminated, therefore there is knowledge of the object, flower. But here, what is the object? Brahma, that is aham. It is reflected, in fact, it is aham, Brahma alone illumines the pramavritti. That pramavritti now, which is in the chidabhasa, is ridiculous. The pramavritti, it is vritti being a jadam. It is illuminated all the way by chaitanya. There cannot be jada interaction. The jada vritti is illuminated by chaitanya. So therefore, in the chit pratibimba, in the mind, where there is reflection of consciousness, there is to say that there is the object, and the object is consciousness. That is consciousness illumining consciousness. How can it be? Consciousness can illumine the object, anatma, but consciousness, atma, illumining atma, cannot be. So logically also seeing, there cannot be phala-vyapti. So in the antakarnam, the chidabhasa, the reflected chaitanyam, phala-vyapti, the pramavritti is the vritti generated due to the upadesha that is enveloped by the pramana vritti. And now that, which when it comes to light in the chidabhasa, when it is known as what? As an object, it is you. So therefore, it is known, therefore it is not an object like flower to be known. So therefore, there is no phala-vyapti, it's just vritti vyapti. Phala-vyapti is there, we can say, but what is the result of the phala-vyapti? It is myself. Like in the case of flower, aham pushpam janami, here you don't say aham brahma janami. No, because here aham brahma asmi. The ignorance with regard to the aham, it is removed. Therefore, the aham as brahma reveals itself. So therefore, there is phala-vyapti, there is no phala-vyapti. If phala-vyapti is there, then what will happen? Phala-vyapti means in the chidabhasa, the vritti, the pramavritti is illuminated. That's what phala-vyapti. Pramavritti itself is because of chitta, chaitanya. And chidabhasa, it is nothing but the chaitanya reflected in the mind. So therefore, phala-vyapti cannot be there. So if you say phala-vyapti, that illumination of that aham brahma, that is the phala-vyapti. Knowing as it is, that aham brahma asmi, that is the phala-vyapti. So it doesn't produce any new knowledge, doesn't generate knowledge. That is quite completely different from the other pramana. Jnana janakam pramanam. But here in the case of Shastra, it is not a producer of new knowledge. It stops with avarana nivritti. Avarana nivritti is jnana janakam. Removal of avaranam itself is revelation of the swarupa of myself. Aham brahmasmi iti. So therefore, palavyapti, is it the palavyapti in the case of flower? The palavyapti, the palavyapti is the vyapti, the pervasion of the prameya, the prama, the pramavritti, the vyapti, the pervasion of the pramavritti, the pervasion which is the knowledge which is reflected in the chidabhasa. The chidabhasa is chit abhasa, that is the mind in which the consciousness is reflected, that is chidabhasa, there only knowledge happens. Therefore, after vritti vyapti, that has to reflect in the mind so that knowledge happens. But here, the palavyapti is to say that pramavritti is in the chidabhasa, there is pramavritti. What is the content of that pramavritti? Pramavritti is aham brahma eva. So aham brahma, that brahma is illumined by brahma. In fact, it is brahma, the chaitanyam alone, it illumines antakkaranam. Antakkaranam is just a reflecting medium. The cause for the antakkaranam to shine itself is brahma. How can that then be? The prameya could be brahma, which is illumined by the chaitanyam in the antakaranam. So it's something like the light which is reflected in the mirror it illumines the light, saying like that. It cannot be. Because Atma is Swayam Prakasha, Swaprakasha Atma. It doesn't require to be illuminated. So therefore there is no Palavyapti. Unlike the object knowledge, Anatma Jnanam, so there is no Palavyapti. The Palavyapti, if at all if we say, that is only in the form of revelation, revealing itself. Atma is self-evident. Another simple reason by which we can understand. Atma is self-evident. But flower is not self-evident. Objects of the world are not self-evident. They have to be known. Avaranam to be removed, and then the knowledge of the object has to happen in the antakaranam, then only it is known. They are not self-evident. If it is self-evident, then only avaranam to be removed. Atma is self-evident. It is not one of the object to be known. It is Swaprakashaha. In fact, Sarvam Prakashayati Atma. So, therefore, when that is so, Sarvam Prakashita, then how it is that I don't know it? Because Avaranam. That's why Avarana Nivritti. Avarana Nivritti by Vritti Vyapti. After Vritti Vyapti, we don't require Pala Vyapti. Because it is self-evident. Because it is self-evident, there is no Pala Vyapti. So Pala Vyapti is required with regard to the Anatma, where it is not, where the objects are not self-evident. With regard to Atma, which is self-evident, Swayam Prakasha, Saprakasha, Saprakasha Chaitanyam, there is no Pala Vyapti. Therefore, Vritti Vyapti alone will do the job. So, Avarana Nivritti, that is why Ajnana Nivritti, we say Ajnana Nivritti is Jnanam. It's not Jnanam. In fact, Ajnana Nivritti is removing the layer. It reveals, like the clouds, when it is removed, the sun, which is already shining, always shining, it shines as it is. Similarly, here also, so Aham Brahmasmi, when the Shishya says, when the Guru says Tattva Tamasi, and the Jnanavritti happens, the Jnanavritti removes the Ajnanam covering that Brahma, as it were, it is removed, then it is revealed as myself. Self-evident, Aham Brahma iti. So he comes to light, he knows. So therefore, he says here, Sa Chit Pratibimba Sagita. So now after that, okay, now the vritti happened, Akanda Karita vritti. Akanda Karita vritti. Now once the mind in the antakarana, the knowledge happens, knowledge of the Atma. And after that, what happens? The vritti should stay continuously or forever, so that no wrong notions again can crop up. No. The Antakaranam knows the Atma, the Antakaranam knowledge of the Atma happens. Then after that, Antakaranam will stop projecting wrong notions about Atma. Once it is known, it is known. Once it is known, it is known. It will stop projecting false notions. That is complete. It is destruction of Ajnanam. Ajnana Nivritti, Ajnana Nivritti by Jnana Vritti has happened. Jnana Vritti, Aham Brahmasmiti, Shabdena, that Jnana Vritti, that the Vritti generated by the Vakyas of the Shastra, which removes the Ajnanam projected by the mind. There cannot be any more Ajnanam in the mind. How can you say there cannot be any more? Why don't Ajnanam comes back? Once you know you are the 10th man, it is gone forever. Will you again mistake yourself that is, you will search for the 10th man? Once you know that you are the 10th man, as in the Drishtanta, Dashamaha, then the Ajnanam with regard to the 10th man is gone. I am the 10th man. So you don't have to every time it comes to you, bring to your memories. It is not Smriti Jnanam. It is Jnanam. Smriti Jnanam is applicable with regard to Aparavidya. That is why some Smriti, Sanskritam we have to read every day we have to read. Otherwise we will forget. It has to be remembered, memory based. This is not memory based. Atma Jnanam is not memory based. If it is memory based, then it's a problem. It will go away every day. You have to again operate the Pramanam, Shastram, then every day you have to know. But it is not like that. As in the Drishtanta, it goes away. Once for all, it goes away. So therefore, once the Ajnana Nivritti happens, fine. So I am Aham Muktaha, I am free, but the world continues to be. Therefore, Aham Brahma Asmi, fine, but the world is there. So it means Dvaitam persists. Knowing oneself to be that Brahma, Aham Purnaha, does it help in establishing Advaita? Because the world still persists. Should not the world also resolve? Then, with the world being there, how can that be Advaita if it is asked? The answer is given. Patakarna tantu dage, patadagavatu. When the cause is removed, the effect also goes away. Pata is the cloth. The cloth is made of these threads, tantu. So tantu is the karanam, pata is the karya. When the cause is removed, karya also goes away. Karana nashe, karya nashaha. The jagat is for which the karanam is maya. Maya is what? Maya is the upadhana karanam. Maya is the upadhana, maya or ajnanam, whatever it is. Say, use the word ajnanam also. Previously we use the word ajnanam. So maya, which is the upadhana karanam. So that maya, upadhana karanam, that upada, as in the case of the Drishtanta, where the upadhana karanam is the thread. When the thread is burned, maya is burnt. Maya is burnt means not literally. Maya is, it is mithya. Maya is mithya. When maya is mithya, what about the maya karya? When the thread is burned, what happened to the cloth? Cloth also is burnt. Karanashe karyanashaha. Therefore, the jagat, which is maya karyam, maya is a karanam, upadana karanam. Maya is Upadana Karanam, we know very well. Because Brahma is the Maya is the Upadana Karanam for the Parinama Upadana Karanam. We have seen. So Maya is the Karanam, therefore, Upadana Karanatvat, therefore Maya is Mithya. Dismissing Maya doesn't, because it doesn't enjoy Satyatvam, Maya is Mithya. When Maya is Mithya, that is a Karanam, Upadana Karanam. What about the Karya Jagat? That is also Mithya, dismissed. So this Samashti Ajnanam, which is what is called Maya. Samashti Ajnanam, that is Upadana Karanam. Maya. Maya doesn't exist independently. No. You know, it doesn't have independent existence. It is always Brahma, Brahmashaya Maya, we say, Brahmashaya Maya. So it has its Ashtaya in Brahma. Therefore, Brahma Satyam. Jagan Mithya, how do we say Jagan Mithya? Because Maya is Mithya. Maya doesn't have independent existence. It has its Ashtaya in Brahma. And that Brahma is Agamasmi. Then what about Maya? Maya, which is Upadanam Karanam for this Jagat. The Maya is Mithya. The Karana is Mithya. Then Karya is also Mithya. Jagat also is Mithya. So dismiss. Therefore, when it is Mithya, dismiss means we dismiss it cognitively. Therefore, it will not affect the Jnani. Jagat being what it is, being there. But, and there will be Vyavahara for the Jnani. There will be Vyavahara for the Jnani with regard to the Jagat. He will do Vyavahara, but still Advaitam eva. That duality, the perception of duality, that Jiva Jagat, the duality, is also knocked off. Because Aham Jivaha Brahma eva. When Aham Jiva Brahma, then Maya, which is Mithya, along with the Maya Karya, Jagat is also dismissed. Then where is duality? The duality which was there before, Ajnanavastayam, yat Dvaita, ya Dvaita Buddhihi Asi, that is knocked off. Jnanavritya tasya Badanam Bhavati, Badita. Ajnana, that the duality also goes away. So therefore, the perception of duality. So therefore, the duality goes away, means duality goes away in the buddhi. Not that the Jagat will disappear. The Jagat will not enjoy the same the status as it enjoyed before Jnanam. Before Jnanam, the Jagat considered to be Satya. Now it is Mithya. So, now, whether, if it is asked, whether even after gaining knowledge, will not the duality between the Atma and the Jagat persist? No, it will not. Because Atma is what? Atma is Brahma. Brahma is everything is Brahma, including the Sharira Mana Sangata is Brahma. Everything is Brahma. Nothing is separate from myself. Then where is duality? So therefore Ajnana Nashram, that the Dvaita, the Dvaitam, Dvaita Nashram, the duality is completely destroyed, along with the Ajnanam. When Ajnanam goes away, along with that Dvaitam also goes away. Dvaita Buddhi also goes away. Dvaita Buddhi, that Ajnanam goes away, Dvaita Buddhi is there, then it is not Jnanam. It is Ajnanam. When there is perception of Dvaita, duality, then it is not Jnanam. How can that be? So if you take the rope snake example, rope snake, the snake is completely destroyed. When you know it is to be the rope. But therefore, before you know it as a rope, duality was the rope snake. Now once you know it as a rope, the snake is destroyed, completely destroyed in the wake of knowledge. When snake is gone, then what about the Dvaitam? Dvaitam will remain, only snake is gone, we cannot say. Snake is gone, Dvaitam is gone, the perceived duality is gone. So therefore only Jagat is Jagat Brahma, Jiva Brahma, the perception, the duality perception, that appreciation of that Jagat as different from me is gone. That is why Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam, May Sarvam Pratishitam, May Sarvam Layam Yati. Jagat Karanam Brahma Aham Asmi, we say. The Jnani say. We say means the Jnani says after Jnanam. Jagat Karanam Brahma Aham Asmi. The Jagat is Jagat Karanam Brahma, the creator of the Jagat, is me. So minus me, where is Jagat? So Jagat also included. So therefore, everything, therefore, in spite of the appreciation of the Jagat, when it comes to Vyavahara, the transaction, still the Jnani knows it is, still the Jnani, he knows, he has the knowledge that it is Brahma Eva Iti. Because he interacts with the people, because he interacts in the world, doesn't mean he has got Dvaita Buddhi. In Gita itself, we have seen, Kurvanapi na karoti. How can we say Kurvanapi na karoti? Chariram kevalam karma, Kurvanapi na karoti. Krutva api na badyate. Naiva kinchit karoti. Only when there is the karaka upavardhanam happens and sarvam brahma, brahma arpanam brahma vekiti, then only this is possible. That is what Jivan Mukti avastha. So for Jivan Mukta, there is no perception of duality. The perception of the world will be there, but not the Dvaitam, not the duality. Then after that, okay, after that Jnana, should the Jnana Vritti continue so that Atma Jnanam remains? The Jnana Vritti, the Vritti generated by the Upadesha of the Shruti, the Jnana Vritti, should it not continue for the knowledge to remain? Because once the Jnana Vritti goes away, this Atma Jnanam also may be forgotten, subject to forgetfulness. No. The Jnana Vritti, once it happens, one needs Jnana Vritti for what? For the Atma to be known as it is. Once it is known, should not the mind continuously maintain this Jnana Vritti? If it is not maintained, will not the Jnanam goes away? No, it is not. Because even when Jnana Vritti goes, in fact, Jnana Vritti also goes away. Badita, it will not remain permanently. Jnana Vritti also goes away. Because it goes away, that the person will not become Ajnani. That Atma Jnanam, that Abhimanam with the Atma, that will not go away. Ajnanam will not walk in again. What happens to the 10th man? The 10th man knows he is the 10th man. The 10th man, the Dashama, Agam Dashamaha Iti, that Buddhi Vritti, is it there all the time for the person? Should it be there all the time for the person to know that I am the 10th man? No. Once he knows the 10th man, that Vritti, it has done its job, remove the Ajnanam, it goes away. I am the 10th man. It need not be there all the time to remind him that I am the 10th man, I am the 10th man. So not required. Similarly also, once the person knows Aham Brahma, it need not be written all the time. It is not a smriti based. It is not smriti based. Therefore, Jnanavritti also goes away. Another Drishtanta is that we saw in the last class, that dream example. For the dreamer, for the dreamer in the dream, there is a vritti. The person in the dream, living in the dream world, there are certain the vritti. The dreamer as a dream vritti. In the dream, the dreamer as dream vritti. The same dreamer when he wakes up, he's not a dreamer, now he's a waker. What happens to the dream vritti? The dream vritti goes away. It is replaced by that now I am awake. Suptaha. Supta vritti. It is supta vritti gone. Now jagrata vritti. Supta vritti gone, jagrata vritti. I am awake. Now, when I am awake, should I remain all the time I am awake? I am not in the dream anymore because I have come out of the dream. Should I remain all the time that I am awake? Not required. Once you come out from the dream avastha, The dreamer is gone. The dreamer is no more found in the waking avastha. What the waking avastha, what is there is only, who is there is only the waker alone. So that wake, aham away, that waker vritti alone is remaining. That is what dreamer vritti. So you don't have to remind yourself all the time that the aham, that waker, I'm the waker, I'm the waker. I'm the waker also vritti. The dreamer gone, the waker comes. I'm the waker. So should you remind yourself all the time, I'm the waker, the vritti? You know you are awake. You don't remind all the time yourself and then do the transaction. The moment you wake up, that supta vritti, that dreamer vritti goes away of the waker vritti. Similarly here also. So therefore, then what is the role of jnana? Jnana vritti removes ajnanam, and along with that ajnanam, it also goes away. Badita bhavati. So that is what is said here. Chitta vritti api, what type of chitta vritti? It is not like the other chitta vritti. One more chitta vritti. Antarbhuta akanda akarita chitta vritti. Why it is akanda? Because it is Brahma, in which there is no difference. Deshataha, kalataha, vasutaha, there are no differences. Therefore, akanda akarita chitta vritti api badita bhavati. After it has done the job, it also goes away. After when? Badita. That is ajnane अखिल कारणे अज्ञाने बाधिते सति तत्कार्यस्य अखिलस्य बाधितत्वात्. After the destroying the karanam, akila karanam is akila karanam, the karanam, the cause of everything. Understanding that it is mithya, maya is mithya. Maya karyam, the jagat, that is also mithya. So akila karane ajnanam is the karanam, the cause for all the karyas. Maya is the cause for the jagat, and ajnanam is the cause for the perception of dvaitam. That is badite sati, when it is removed. Tat karyasya, ajnanam is the cause for samsara. Maya is the cause for the perception of the duality. When it is dismissed as mithya, then what about karya? Then maya is mithya, jagat, the karya is mithya. When ajnanam is gone, what about ajnana karya, samsara? That is a karya of ajnana. That is baditattva, stands dismissed. Yata, Drishtanta is patakarana tantu dake. What is the karanam of pata? Pata is made of tantu. Dake, when it is burned, dakdatu, dake, pata dagavat, pata is burned. Similarly here also, karana nashe, karanam is ajnanam, ajnana nashe, ajnana is a karanam, akila karane ajnane badite. The cause of all the akila karanam, akila is akila कार्य अखिल कार्यस्य कारणं यत् तत् अज्ञानं बाधिते. When ajnanam is dismissed, when ajnanam is destroyed, badite. Patakana tantu dage ta pata dahana bhavati tadvat. So therefore, chit pratibimba sahita sati pratyak is which is atma, pratyak abhinnam ajnatam param brahma vishayikritya, brahma which was not known before as me, not as an object. Param brahma, yat param brahma purvam ajnatam bhavati ahamiti. And that brahma is pratyak abhinnam. It is not different from me, it is me, myself. Is it jnatam or ajnatam? It is ajnatam. As brahma it is ajnatam. That vishayikritya, having known, having objectified. How do you objectify Brahma? Here it is not objectifying like you objectify a flower. Here objectification is objectifying not as an object. There is no pala vyapti. It is myself. That is a vishayikaranam. The pratyak bhinnam ajnatam vishayikritya tadgata ajnanam eva badate. Tadgata tadantarbhuta ajnanam is destroyed. Ajnanam with regard to the Atma, the Brahma is destroyed, because the Param Brahma is Vishayikritya. How? By Shastra, Guru Upadeshena, that Param Brahma, Aham Pratyak Abhinnam Param Brahma, that Ajnatam Param Brahma Vishayikritya, having known. That is what Vishayikritya, not objectified. Translation could be objectified, but here it is having known as myself. Then Tadgata Ajnanam is Tadgata Ajnana, the Ajnanam with regard to that. The Ajnanam with regard to that Brahma goes away. Bhadate, that Brahma, you cannot say anymore it is not known. It is myself. Vritti Vyapti, that Upadesha, when Guru Upadesha, Guru has done a lot of homework and he has given the Adhyaropa, Apavada Prakriya, other Prakriyas by handling that, he has conveyed by Bhagatyaga Lakshana also, presented the Tatvarya of the Shruti, the Mahavakya. So therefore, Tadgata Ajnanam, the Ajnanam with regard to Atma, Brahma, goes away. Badite, Tadgata Ajnanam, Avarana Nivritti happens. Then Pratyak Abhignam Brahma, Agamaspiti, it is Swaprakasha, Swayam Prakasha. That is, it reveals itself. The revelation of Brahma happens. Tadgata Ajnanam Bhadate. Tadgata Ajnanam Eva Bhadate. Tada Patakarantantodahe Patadahavat. Karanashe Karyanashaha. Therefore, Akila Karyasya Bhaditatvat. Tadadan Antargata Bhuta Akanda Karita Chittavritti. What will happen to the Chittavritti? The Chittavritti also is dismissed. It is not required. Chittavritti. Avrana Nashaha happened. So the Brahma reveals itself. It is Swaprakasham reveals itself. In fact, everything is revealed by Brahma. Then that Avarana covering the Brahma, that Aham Brahma, that is removed. Therefore, revealing itself. Chittavrittihi Bhaita Api Bhaita Bhavati. Iti. Then Palavyapti, about Palavyapti, the author says in the next one. Why Palavyapti is not required? Though we have seen Palavyapti is with regard to Anatma, but here it is with regard to Atma. The Pramavritti, which is reflected in the Chidabhasa, is called Palavyapti. That is not required for the simple reason we know. Pramavritti itself, the Vritti is illumined by Chaitanya. And that is reflected in Chidabhasa. That is also Chaitanya. So it is all the way Chaitanya. So, how can the object, content of the object, which is Chaitanyam, is reflected in the Antakaranam, which is affected by Chaitanyam? The content is same. Therefore, it is Swaprakashaha, self-illumining. Therefore, Palavyapti, not required. Palavyapti, we say, revelation itself is a Palavyapti. That is what the author is going to say in the next passage. The example, we're giving a beautiful example. Like a Deepa Prabhadi. Deepa Prabha Aditya. Prabha Aditya Prabha. That is a Deepa, a light illumining the Aditya, the sun. A torch illumining the sun. It is like, how can a torch illumine the sun? Deepa Prabha, Aditya Prabha, Avavasara, Asamartha Sati, incapable of illumining the Aditya, the sun, by this Deepa. So that is, therefore, Palavrapti, not the Swayam Prakasha, Mana Pratyak Binna, Parabrahma. We will see, we'll read in the next class. Since we asked our before class, so I think we didn't have two classes. That's why the same passage we did. This passage we will read in the next class. So where the Palavyapti, about Palavyapti is talked about. The passage is so condensed. It's like the Sutra Bhuta. So we need to discuss. We'll see that in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. धन्यवाद.